Hello, welcome. In this video, we'll be looking at how to build a super cute Faz Bear out of paper using basic tools and materials. This is one of the easier models. Hope you enjoy building. We will need some scissors, a ruler, and some glue. The general process entails cutting out the pieces, pre-shaping, and gluing the tabs together. There's a link in the description with a template you can use to print out. The paper tape is flexible. I used 45 pounds mid-weight, but you can use lighter or heavier paper. We can also glue regular paper to card. Let's start by building the head, as there are a number of pieces that are connected to it. Then the snout, upper body, jaw, ears, lower body, legs, arms, and finally the hat. For this model, I prefer to cut out, pre-fold, glue, and attach each piece to the previous. Since there are relatively few pieces, it's possible to cut them all out, pre-shape them all, and then connect all of them. For cutting out the tabs, we can use the tip of the scissors to make short cuts without cutting too far. Optionally, we can use an X-Acto knife as there are quite a lot of straight edges. This entails using a metal ruler though. We can use the ruler to make neat folds easily by locating the ruler under the print fold line and gently pressing against the top. We can then fold over this crease to get a perfect edge. Most of the edges in the model are mountain folds with the edge towards us. It's normal and part of the process to have to reprint a page or redo a couple of pieces in the model building process. For the hands and feet, there is a solid block of color for the outside surface, which we can fold over and glue before cutting out the shape. This way we can cut out both surfaces at once and avoid any potential misalignments. We can use any kind of glue, but it's best to ensure that the edge is fully dry before moving on to the next adjacent edge. I prefer fast drying glue, but if you use regular glue, the edge will need to be held in place until it dries out and moving on to the next tab over. Clear dry glue is ideal in case we make any sort of errors in the building process. We can largely avoid any excess glue by applying a small amount in the center of the tab. It's important to always dry fit and try to see how the piece looks before applying glue and permanently fixing it in place. Do this a couple of times, further folding the piece or further cutting and adjusting before finally gluing it down. It's best to study the model from the top, sides, and front to locate the pieces on center and symmetrically when gluing it down. The model will be quite stable at the end. However, we can also locate a small weight, like a metal, in one or both of the legs for additional stability. At the end, we can use a Sharpie or a black pen to color in the exposed cut edges of the hat. These are especially noticeable as the white color of the paper contrasts the black hat print. We can similarly color in the rest of the body with brown paint or pencil crayons, where the exposed non-printed cut paper edges contrast the printed color for a more seamless look. This is optional, and I have only done this for the hat, where it was especially noticeable. We can make the model more durable and last longer by spraying or painting with a matte, clear varnish at the very end. This makes it significantly more rigid and surfaces easy to clean. It's always best in this case to apply multiple thin coats as opposed to trying to apply it all in one go to apply uniformly and reach all the edges and creases. As with all paper models, it takes time for everyone to complete and a bit of patience, but it is very well worth it in the end. It gets faster once we get going, and at the end we get a physical model that we can display. A general tip is I try to allocate a few hours for model building at once so that I have time to put away the tools and still have some left over to actually build after the time it takes to set up. Optionally, using an extra piece, we can make the head turn using a cylindrical swivel. This is labeled piece number 5 in the template file, or simply connect the head to the upper body for expediency. If making the swivel, first cut out the hole, and then once you locate the swivel inside the hole, glue the cylindrical swivel piece edge. This way we don't have to use glue and this pressure fit. I hope you found this helpful. I tried to make the most out of basic tools and materials for models, made in a straightforward way. Super curious, which other models would you like to see build videos of next? Let me know in the comments below. Please subscribe to see more like this. It is free and helps me out. Feel free to pass this on to anyone who you think might enjoy making this or enjoys paper models. There's a link to other characters in the 5 Nights at Freddy's series in the channel description. Hope you enjoy building and wish you all the best on your Papercraft adventure, my friend. I hope to see you next time, and I wish you all the very best. Cheers, bye bye.